Well. I'm back again after what, 2, 3 weeks? Well, I've been busy, y'all. And of course, the title of this video says it all. To get the cat out of the bag, I'm not happy with this game that just came out, if you even going to call it a game. I look at it as propaganda. Maybe some of y'all agree with me, some of y'all disagree with me, but hey, everyone's entitled to their opinions, right? Man, where to begin with this? I got things written down as notes, just to be completely transparent with y'all, because I have a lot of stuff to say about this game. Um, I didn't play the game, however, I did watch an 11-hour playthrough of the game, including the side missions as well. The secret stuff that you can do, and uh overall I'm pretty sure the gameplay is solid. That's what it seemed like to me, but the story is just very mediocre. It seems like, and I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I'm gonna try to retain the main subject of what I'm trying to portray, is that it seems like these Sony games that are trying to be ultra realistic have a good run with the first half, but then when the second half comes, as in the sequel, it starts going down. You got the Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Horizon Zero Dawn. The second game is didn't do well. Last of Us Part Two didn't do well. Uh, God of War Ragnarok. Honestly, I watched a playthrough of that. That most certainly didn't. In my opinion, it didn't look like it was well. I mean, they were changing so many shit in there. It's just, again, and of course now with this Spider-Man 2, sure, it may have gotten a lot of sales, but that story is very mediocre, and I guess I'll explain why. But first, let's get into the first thing. So I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was the voice actor who had a there was a voice actor, the main voice actor, who had a, I want to say, like, I don't want to call it controversy. Maybe it was a bad take, but he had like a bad take on Twitter months ago. Yuri Lowenthal, I can't pronounce his name. The actor behind, shit, forgot. Getting ahead of myself, y'all. Let me make sure I get this first. I don't want to share audio. Oh, all right, let's do this. And those for you who are not watching but are listening, I'm gonna try to do my best with this. I'm gonna be going between articles and videos and pictures as well that I've grabbed, and I'm gonna try and make it as listener friendly as I can. But here we go. So this article is from Game Rant, and title of it is Spider-Man 2 voice actor addresses infamous Peter Parker controversy. Yuri Lowenthal, the actor behind Peter Parker in Marvel Spider-Man 2, once again addresses his character's controversial facial redesign. And this article is by J. Brody Sherry and published September 22nd of 2023. So the highlights of this is Marvel's Spider-Man 2 voice actor Yuri Lowenthal is tired of the ongoing debate about Peter Parker's controversial redesign, stating that the performance matters more to him. Some fans prefer the original look of Peter Parker, while others have accepted and even prefer the new design. And despite the controversy, the Marvel Spider-Man version of Peter Parker has become incredibly popular. I'm going to close that out. Marvel Spider-Man 2 voice actor damn it, Yuri has once again addressed Peter Parker's controversial redesign and ongoing discourse surrounding it. When Marvel's Spider-Man was remastered for the PlayStation 5 in 2020, Insomniac made one major change to its leading web slinger, while actor John Bubniak served as the performance capture artist for Peter's unmasked face in the original PS4 version. He was replaced by Ben Jordan in the updated PS5 and PC ports. This change was carried over into that year's Spider-Man Miles Morales spin-off, and Ben Jordan's version of Peter Parker will be seen once again in upcoming Marvel Spider-Man 2. The decision to alter Peter Parker's appearance in the later Marvel Spider-Man sequels was made to have the character better resemble his voice actor Yuri, but fans who prefer um, John John's older look have accused Insomniac of trying to replicate Tom Holland's more youthful Spider-Man from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and feel that this is a poor fit for the experienced web slinger established in the first game. Said fans have tried to restore John's Peter Parker in the Marvel Spider-Man remastered PC port using mods, while others have made peace with Ben's version and even preferred to the original. Uh, and just a little side note here: Spider-Man 2 has gone gold a month before its release. Yada yada. I guess I just want to throw a little fun fact in there. Well, of course, that's obvious, unless you live under a rock or something. Man. Marvel Spider-Man 2 has only reignited the Peter Parker redesign debate, and even the actor behind the wisecracking hero is growing weary of it. Yuri recently sat down for an interview with comicbook.com, during which the subject of Peter's altered face came up. When asked about the change, Yuri replied that it never really bothered him that much. The performance was the same for me. I got over it as soon as they said, "Hey, we want to make this change so that the facial animation is better." I said, "I'm all in. I don't care if he looks like a goblin if my performance is better, then I'm in." Marvel Spider-Man 2 star Yuri went on to state that he has grown somewhat tired of the constant back and forth about which version of Marvel's Spider-Man's Peter Parker is better, as he feels that everything that needs to be said has been said, and that some fans will take longer to get over the change than others. By the same token, he noted that people connect deeply enough to the character he helped create in Marvel's Spider-Man to have such a reaction to his redesign, even as he hopes that everyone will get over it. Sure enough, the Marvel Spider-Man version of Peter Parker has quickly become one of the most popular incarnations of the beloved superhero, so much so that he had a brief cameo appearance in this year's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ahead of his return in Spider-Man 2. There will be much more for fans to talk about when Spider-Man 2 launches in October, but Yuri feels that the controversy surrounding Peter's infamous redesign has already been played out. Uh, First of all, I didn't know that version of Spider-Man was in Spider Verse. I can care less, to be honest. But what I will say is that I'm I, I think there's an excuse there where Insomniac developers are saying that, hey, it's better gonna fit the animation and all that, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, and I still don't understand. I haven't deeply looked into this because it is still. I think it's just still. I think it's still a waste of time to even try to decipher why they went with the first face model instead of the second automatically. Like, why are we changing the faces? Why not give the players options? And I noticed that about. Hang on, excuse me. I'm about to sneeze. Okay, back. All right. But I've been noticing this a lot lately with the Western game that they don't really give a lot of players. They don't give players uh actual options to change what they want and have other than the costumes and all that. It's like why why can't we just have a thing where, like we could switch between this face model or that face model? I'm pretty sure there's like some kind of contracts involved and everything, more than likely. But I just I don't buy the excuse of, oh hey, it better fits the animation and blah, because mocap has always, I think this has always been state of the arts technology, even back in the day, like when I was growing up, like the early 2000s, man. Of course, it has come a long way, but when, for example, Metal Gear Solid 3 was using mocap and they were capturing when the guy was doing Revolver Ocelot stuff and doing the gun twirling and all that. I think that was, I mean, that was pretty impressive, really. So and again, that's a game that came out like what, 2004, 2004, I think. It's always the capturing and animations have always been there, especially with facial. Hell, even Silent Hill 2 did a great job, and that came out in 2001. So I mean, sure, they may not be ultra realistic as Spider-Man 2, but I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy that excuse. I think I think what they want was that they want someone that looked closer to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It just but it's a knockoff, and really I'm looking, it's already been established. Like I can understand this with this face model that we're currently looking at, the Tom Holland reject, will be a better version to use for a young Peter Parker, which they have shown in Spider-Man 2 when doing the flashbacks between Harry and Peter. And yes, I'm going to be spoiling the game as well. So if you haven't spoiled the game, I mean, sorry, if you haven't played the game and you don't want to be spoiled, click off it. And of course, if you're easily offended by my opinions and how I feel about stuff, then you can click off as well, because I'm not gonna be holding your hand. But anyway, I feel like this face model that we're currently looking at would be a better version to represent Peter when he's younger, and then the original version that we got before the remaster and a PC port would better fit the, the older, when Peter Parker when he's older. I think that's how it should be. Or hell, again, like I said, have give us the give us the option to change between faces. I mean, I'm just saying it. It just seems like games these days, especially Western, are not giving the players options, and I mean like the illusion of options. Sure, you can choose your suit, your armor pieces, your move sets, whatever, blah blah blah. But there are just some things some things you just can't really overlook, and you have to really wonder about. So that's what I wanted to show for that one before I get into the meat and bones, meat and bones, meat and gravy, mashed potatoes. Who knows? I'm sorry, guys. It is currently 12:40 a.m. So bear with me here. So I'm gonna stop sharing that. But I wanted to get into this thing. If a certain app will load up, you might hear something, may not. Okay, cool. Awesome. Come on, load up. There we go. I don't know how long this is going to be, guys. I hope it's not going to be an hour. but that depends on me, huh? Okay. So going into the thing of realistic, having realistic graphics, just to reach that uncanny valley of like, man, that really looks like a person. Uh, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the MJ's newest appearance. Kind of, I don't know how to go about this really because I'm still baffled by how the hell did this happen? My gosh. So obviously we're looking at past and present. We got Mary Jane Watson, 2018 on the right side. We have Mary Jane uh, on the left. That is the Spider-Man 2 version. And I didn't. I never thought in my life I would actually come to like the 2018 version of MJ because I always hated that style for her. Oh, I hate it. I despise it. But when you're looking at this abomination on the left compared to the right, it sure as hell makes the right look so much more feminine. Uh I'm just want you guys to let the people who are watching this. I want you to look into that. Just look at, man. It's staring at me. The hell, man. What the hell happened? I'm pretty sure I know what happened, really, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all understand what happened because, my gosh, I gotta stop sharing. I can't look at that ugly shit anymore. Here, perfect. I'm getting it all set up for you guys. I'm sorry, but I gotta, I gotta wash away what I just saw. All right. So I think this might explain it right here. So on the left, you got the writer or one of the writers of Spider-Man 2, and on the right you have the image of MJ. Kind of looks a bit familiar, huh? Like a self-insert. Now I'm not sure if it's a self-insert. A lot of people are claiming that it's a self-insert, but I can't argue with them because it does look like a self-insert. And we know that this day and age, a lot of people who work on projects that we used to like or still like to put themselves in as a character and make the character all about them. I mean, just help me out here, guys. I'm serious. When you look at this, what I'm showing you, this comparison, help me out here. I mean, does it not look like the lady on the left? Does the MJ, this character, not look like the lady on the left? Hmm. I don't understand. I can't really imagine. Like the only time I can imagine like putting a creator putting himself into something is like as a little background character or a joke or like how is that how you pronounce it? Mangaka, the people who work on manga, make little doodles of themselves or their little persona, and to like kind of explain things. They don't take away from the story. They're just there the, like notes or something. But when you get to the level of like when these people are, uh, literally just replacing characters as themselves because they want to be seen they want to be represented. It really throws things off, and it makes the product and or the content go down in value. I don't think they understand that, or if they do understand that, they don't care. Um, I mean, that's entirely, again, I don't know if this woman intentionally, someone intentionally did this, or she intentionally wanted this to happen. Um, I'm just saying it's pretty hard to, uh, it's pretty hard to say like this is not a self insert. I'm still baffled by this. I'm just like it kind of, and then and then what I'm about to show you guys next, I I did get this from Twitter. I can't remember from who. So the person, I'm not trying to like plagiarize or anything, like trying to steal people's stuff, man. I just want to bring attention to this. But I'm gonna try my best to read this. But it's a picture of the writer on the right, and on the left, it's basically uh like a paragraph about her, like a few paragraphs about her. It says, "Hi, I'm Ashley, but you can call me Ash. Now that we're pals, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. My current favorite games are God of War 2018 and Yakuza 0. If you're looking for an awesome short television series, uh, Goblin is where it's at. I think that says Goblin or Goblin. Uh, as for movies, you gotta you gotta watch Mega Mania. I'm serious. Let's get real for a second. Let's get real for a second. Storytelling is impactful no matter what medium it's in. As a queer and hard of hearing person, I am lurking. To I'm looking forward to learn about the world around me, while still telling stories true to my personal experiences. I am I aim to write impactful stories with representation the audiences could see themselves in. Who doesn't want to see themselves in the favorite games? And this is kind of proving my point right here about it. Kind of it's hard not to say that this isn't a self insert from what I just read to you guys. Uh, uh, Furthermore, I believe games are for everyone. They should be accessible and supportive of all players. Outside of writing, I work with accessibility teams to pitch ways we can make our games more inclusive. Inclusivity is incredibly important to me if you haven't noticed. When I'm not writing, I'm painting off brand Bob Ross landscapes, bouldering, uh, falling falling off. I think that's falling off rocks, and making poor attempts at catching up on television shows. I look toward I look toward to learning more about you, guys. I hate to say it, but I mean it's not looking good at all. Not at all, man. Uh, I don't understand where all this narcissism is coming from. Where people, again, these writers, these developers, these these people that work on stuff that we used to love, or still continue to love, or something. I don't know. Uh, they have to see themselves. They can't. They can't like give us what these characters are thinking. They have to give us what they're thinking because of personal experiences. Projecting. Man, we are, and you wonder why um, the strikes were happening. Are there are Or are they still happening? I don't know. I don't pay attention to that Hollywood shit. I try not to because it's stuff like this that just makes me just like wonder, like, what the fuck, dude? Why? Why are actually genuine creators not being recognized for their hard work, but then we got people like this who who are not really talented and actually end up hurting um, stuff that should be easy cakewalk to make. They're not creating anything original. They're adding onto a pile that's literally been created for almost 100 years ago. Maybe I don't know, dude. But I thought I share that right there. So continue on with MJ. Uh, there's a segment within the game. If you haven't played it, I need a drink of get myself a drink of water first. Jeez. There's a segment within Spider-Man 2, a couple segments actually, three. I think there's three segments where you play as MJ again. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I know. The first game where they had those MJ segments were pretty horrendous. Sneaking around while you know actual villains full of that are pretty powerful. Uh, it probably easily sends her, but anyway, I digress. This time she's actually armed with a stun gun, and she's able to take down not only the hunters, people who work under Craven, but is able to take out symbiotes as well. Yeah, we're talking about symbiotes, aliens. Venom and Carnage, basically. Yeah, with a fucking stun gun. And of course, they do a cheap way. They do a cop out basically in the writing where she mentions that she was trained by Silver Sable. It couldn't have been that long of a training. Maybe a month or two. Maybe at least a month or two of training. She's going against people. She's going against trained assassins who have worked under Craven for who knows how long, how many years they worked with him. She's going against fucking aliens that can literally overrun a city within probably an hour. And she's one-shotting them. If it's not one-shotting, it's probably a 2 or 3 shot, and that's it. Meanwhile, when you play as Spider-Man, either Miles Morales or Peter Parker, it takes you. They're like sponges, man. The enemies are like sponges, and you're supposed to have superhuman strength. But okay, let me get to it. Let me show you an example. Ooh. I know I just paused that. What the fuck, man? Sorry if you guys heard that. Of course, I gotta make sure that YouTube with their copyrights or just copyright stuff, bro. It's stupid, man. Okay, so what I'm gonna show you is not obviously not gonna be from a recording of mine. Again, I just said I didn't I never played the game, but I watched the whole playthrough, bro. Uh I'm gonna have the audio off for this. I'm just not even gonna take a chance with it. But I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see just how freaking crazy this is. Okay, so you got the hunters coming out of the van. You got MJ in the van, in the back of the van. She's waiting, and she's scooting up to the door, and she kicks the door so hard that it makes one hunter. I gotta pause this. She makes one hunter fly back and become unconscious. So the other hunter sees her and has with a crossbow in hand. They make eye contact, and you get the prompt to sprint towards the fucking hunter, who literally just not even a couple feet, just not even like, dude, like, what the fuck, man? Oh my gosh, I gotta. My gosh, this is so fucking bad. She literally sprints to the man who's literally holding a fucking crossbow, and she has a stun gun in her hand. Like, dude, there's no way in hell he should miss. Especially, I understand it's a video game, but no fucking way, dude. No fucking way. These developers are literally talking about, oh, we're trying to make the game realistic and everything. This is not realism. This is not realism. She would more than likely try to run away if she was in this situation. But to go towards someone who literally has a crossbow and then dodge it and then is actually able to stun them, come on, dude. Get out of here. This segment, I was like, no fucking way, man. And of course, this is where she mentions that good thing I trained with Sable. And this is the level where she's looking for Dr. Connors before he becomes the lizard. And I just want you guys, for the people who are watching this, she's sneaking up on trained assassins, one-shotting them with stealth takedowns. And all of a sudden she knows like how to speak a different language. I kind of want to click off this, to be honest, guys. Oh yeah, this is the part right here where she gets hit by an arrow. I was looking for that. This part where she gets hit by an arrow, and of course she just somehow she's is a tranquilizer. Is an arrow hit with full of tranquilizer, and man, dude, it's like you're telling me she's able to will this stuff out by literally pulling it out of her arm, throwing it down, and then just able to dodge into get into cover. And dude, no way, man. Dude, no way. I have to stop sharing that. That's insane. That's how insane this whole thing is, man. Maybe I know probably with y'all who play the game, I think maybe y'all were questioning this part too. I hope, because um I'm not sure that made it fun or not. So far, what I've seen is that people weren't enjoying those sections as well. Um, as in, they didn't like it in 2018. They sure as hell don't like it in Spider-Man 2. Gosh, no, dude, it's just that's crazy. So I even have an article too where director is basically trying to explain, and it's with IGN. I know, but here we go. Spider-Man 2 director explains why those MJ stealth scenes had to be included. Let's hear their excuse. I haven't even read this. If she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. She's fine. I don't care. Articles by Rebecca Valentine has been updated since October 27th of this year, and it reads as follows: Marvel Spider-Man 2 has seen critical and fan acclaim in the weeks since its release, but one element that hasn't been universally beloved is the return of Mary Jane's stealth missions from the first game. While these missions were almost universally hated in Marvel Spider-Man, some tweaks to the formula have made them far more divisive in Spider-Man 2. And we recently spoke to one of the creative directors on Spider-Man 2 to learn exactly why they're in the game at all. So why have these missions been upgraded from low to merely divisive? Well, one big reason is that MJ is OP now, and that's no exaggeration. She is fucking OP dude, dude. She doesn't. She's not even fucking scream. She doesn't even have the fucking symbiote in her yet. I could see if the symbiote was in her. I can see this if she's. I can literally see that. That would make so much sense why she was able to kick the door open so quick, so hard like that, or is able to dodge, or able to take an arrow and with that's full tranquilizer, of course, and is able to keep on going. I can see that, but anyway, her stun gun makes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, her stun gun makes short work of enemies take Peter and Miles multiple hits to beat up. I just mentioned that. For some, this change of pace is awesome. Even John Wick like. For others, it sucks the energy out of the game that's otherwise fast paced and wide open. Recently, we brought Insomniac senior creative director Brian Inchahar onto a spoiler packed episode of Beyond Talk about everything Spider Man 2, and he had plenty to say about the studio's decision for MJ. Warning, spoilers for Spider Man 2, blah, 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 blah. According to. What was his fucking name? What was his first name? Brian. According to Brian, Insomniac was well aware that MJ's missions hadn't been anyone's favorite favorite bit of the first Spider-Man, and they did ponder foregoing them entirely in the sequel. But instead, the team went a different direction. We had two choices. We could say, "All right, we'll make it easy and just not do it," and everybody would go, "Great, no MJ missions," or we could say, "Hey, we've talked about showing the world from all different angles. We're going to make her moments better. We're going to take on the challenge. We're going to make people like playing as her. We pick and choose our spots. We knew we had to make her more of a proactive, capable person. And if she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. She's fine. I don't care." That's the attitude right there. And that's another thing I don't like about Western game developers. Not all of them, but there seems to be a good chunk of them where they have this attitude where basically fuck the fans, fuck the players. We don't care because we know best, we know better, and we're gonna keep doing this. Y'all, I'll be honest. When you think of Spider-Man, of playing, a Spider-Man game, you think about playing as Spider-Man. You don't really think about playing as anyone else. You don't. And if it is anyone else, it's probably going to be a villain, like how they did with Ultimate Spider-Man, where you play as Venom. That's the only things I could see right there, really. Hell, even Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire game, based on Sam Raimi's movie, I should say, there was a part where you actually play a Scorpion, and I thought that was pretty cool, if memory serves correctly. It's stuff like that. It's something like that I would think of. I don't think of, oh boy, I want to play as Mary Jane and execute. Well, not execute, but stun. Incapacitate people with a stun gun. No, I think of either playing as Spider-Man or maybe one of the villains. There, that's it. So Insomniac committed, believing in the importance of showing MJ as a capable hero. She's not really a hero. That's She's not really a hero. She's the lover of Peter. She has badass moments, but she's not really a hero. of showing MJ as a capable hero, even if she didn't have powers. Brian says that was even part of the motivation to include her as a playable character in the final mission, despite MJ not being in the original plan. They even briefly toyed with letting players control MJ riding her bike, though that was ultimately scrapped to make room for other content. Yeah, you mean all those cutscenes? I'll be honest, I wasn't even I wasn't even playing the game, and even I would notice how many fucking cutscenes there are. It was just felt like there was just filler just to fill it in, just to drag it out to make it longer. But anyway, and and that need to show her as a capable hero was also part of the reason that MJ got her incredibly powerful stun gun. In Spider-Man 1, there was a really, really early, super early in development. Uh, we never made it, but it was part of a story treatment where Pete was going to be injured and he could barely walk. Brian recalls she was going to actually try to get him to safety, and she was going to grab one of his web shooters and she was going to put it on, actually fire at enemies that were trying to get to them, but that never happens. I think that's where the web shooter idea came from because I was like, let's give her the ability to stun enemies in the first mission. Uh, Spider-Man 2, no, okay, never mind. We chatted with Brian about absolutely everything Spider-Man 2, including an unused idea for a randomized Sandman, an explanation for, oh, Jesus Christ, no. An explanation for some of the missing suits and more. You can watch and listen to the full spoiler cast right here, but if you're not ready for a spoiler just yet, Riki guidelines and yada yada yada. So that's yeah, it's confirmed, easily confirmed. If y'all haven't played the game, she literally is OP. I have watched her 3 separate times take down fucking hunters and symbiotes. She literally went into the hive of where the symbiotes come from, and has like survived that. It's really kind of infuriating. I mean, the amount of like the writing is atrocious, man. We're only scratching the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I want to say so much more, but I gotta take a drink first. It's gonna be a long video. Fuck, man. So that was the article right there with MJ being OP, then Peter and Miles. Uh, I also even mentioned right here in my notes where MJ's stun gun is so effective that not only it can take down hunters in one action, it decimates symbiotes as well. No point in having Martin Lee and the anti venom suit, really. To be honest, and yes, the anti venom suit does show up because of Mr. Negative, uh, Martin Lee, uh, the real name of the character, and for some reason the symbiotes fear his power, and you have to rescue uh, Miles and Mr. Negative go into the subconscious of Peter's subconscious, and uh, basically have to like get the remaining symbiote stuff that's in him, and they're of course they're being blocked. They're blocked away from him by this mass of whatever, and so Martin, or should I say, Mr. Negative, is basically saying to Miles like, "Yeah, I have to put all my energy into this just to at least have a chance to try and get him out. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I might as well try. So basically, that ends up happening. They are able to save Peter, and of course, uh, Peter gets that's how Peter gets the anti venom suit. Uh, I'm not really, I don't really know much about anti venom, and I don't know about the suit, but I thought that was okay, sort of, kind of cliche writing where Mr. Negative just comes out of nowhere and saves the day, really. But yeah, um, I think again basically he's rendered unnecessary just because if regular electricity is taking these symbiotes down, there's no point for his power for him to even be in there to be a plot point. It's redundant. You might as well just have Electro and call it a day. Oh wait, I forgot. We don't have Electro anymore because he's dead because of Craven, I believe. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get ahead of myself here, but characters like Rhino, Vulture, Electro, Shocker, Scorpion, uh, they're dead. They're all dead because of Craven. So yeah, what the fuck, bro? Again, the writing is atrocious. MJ, I mentioned this earlier. MJ becomes Scream, uh, and this part, I'm kind of tempted to play a little bit of it because, oh my gosh, it just seems like anybody who gets the symbiote on them, regardless of it being Peter, MJ, or Harry. Yes, Harry becomes Venom. Uh, it's like it just makes them into like a teenager or have a teenage mindset where they're just constantly bitching, complaining, and whining. And MJ's is by far the worst. When I'm like, okay, look, man, I'll be honest. It was cool to see Scream, but MJ is not Scream. I I don't like that. I don't like that. Harry is not Venom. I don't like that as well because that takes away from the characters, from the actual characters becoming who they are, what they are. Like Eddie Brock becoming Venom, or that one chick becoming Scream. I don't like that. But anyway, she it's like how can I explain this? When you're fighting MJ and they're having this back, it's nothing but back and forth. It's like MJ literally became like the ex-girlfriend that's very bitchy. It constantly just talk about, oh, you lost another job, I had to pay all the bills, blah 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 blah. uh and Peter's like, you're right, I'm sorry, I should have done this, I should have done that, like he's a simp. It, I understand that the symbiote fucks with your head and mind, but this was the most, I don't even like saying this word, but it was the most cringiest dialogue I've ever heard in a game, especially with a boss battle, a boss fight. And how it ends really, and then like using stuff to produce a high frequency sound to help get it obvious, and trying to basically Peter talking to her to appeal to common sense, really, and she's like, yeah, I do believe in telling the truth with the writing, writing her news letter or some shit like that. She's able to fight off the symbiote with relative ease, and yeah, maybe it because it's due to because of um, Peter being there, but when I think about Harry's fight, comparing that to when Peter and Harry had the symbiote on them, and then when MJ has a symbiote on her, it's like she has so much willpower that she's able to actually take the damn thing off of her, and she's able to completely overpower it. Unlike with uh Peter and Harry. Harry straight up fucking struggles so much towards the end that he's like, it's not gonna come off. You have to kill me in order to save the city. And Peter, when he was going against Miles, he was struggling so bad that Miles was really stepping in, and it's okay. I'm gonna show you guys. Fuck it. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm trying not to cuss so much. I know it might as well be a meme to this point, but guys, what the fuck, dude? I just like, man, I don't know how to, I don't know what to say about it. It's like I'm just so really baffled by like what the choices made in this game. I'm trying to like process it still. Like why? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm about to show y'all. Come on, share. Okay, so this right here. All right, so see how she's like peeling it off easily, and of course, the sound from the pipes they're making, she's able to easily rip that off, like it's nothing. I have a problem, dude. It's just don't make sense, man. We're talking about symbiotes, just like hard to get off, dude. I don't know. Ah, God, the hell. Anyway, moving on. I guess I want to be on the last part of the MJ stuff. Um, damn. No, this is rich. I don't know if y'all remember Alana Pierce, but Alana Pierce is she basically was kind of like the she did interviews with Cyberpunk 2077 developers, and basically my mind is made up with her because she helped literally help make a shitty game uh, look good. And when it launched, of course, that was one of the I think that was the most disastrous launch ever for a video game. I mean, that was atrocious. So Alana Pierce has something to say about learn about this tweet from Learn the Law. Insomniac writer Experiment 2, all conclusions and arguments directed to notice patterns are reserved for Twitter users and under I'm not sure what else, but I'm pretty it's basically talking about how the writer looks just like it looks like just like MJ from Spider-Man 2. And Alana Pierce says, yes, the classic list targeted women associated with the game, even though surely we know writing and art slash character design are separate departments, and this isn't how game development works. It's not about targeting women. It's targeting it looks like blatant narcissism. I mean, again, I'm looking at the picture. I'm literally looking at the picture side by side. Dude, you can't I mean, you're making a hard case where it's like you can't really counteract like, oh, this isn't a self-insert. I mean, it looks literally one for one with the face with the this is modern gaming, y'all. This is modern gaming. I might have to do a part two to this because this is um this is already getting on my nerves. This is longer than I expected it to be, but there's so much. I gotta get my thoughts. I want to get my thoughts collected. I don't want to um mess this up for y'all. I don't want to like I'm trying to confuse y'all. Maybe I'm already being a little too confusing, really. But I have so much in my notes, man. Like I could keep on talking about this, and I will because I think I want to save this next part. Actually, I'm going to save this. How about this? I'll make a deal with you guys. I'll actually make a deal. I might. This might be a three-parter right here. This is the first part. Second part, I'm going to talk about Black Cat. If you know, you know. But that's going to be second part. That's going to go up probably a few days after this, maybe a day after this. Who knows? Maybe a few hours after this. But all I know is that I'm ready to just delve into this, guys. I'm literally trying to think of like how to format this, and this is part one. Um, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to disagree with me. They're going to, do their usual stuff, and I don't care. I'm just trying to point out the hypocrisy, the stuff that doesn't make sense, and I would have bought this game had they not had Insomniac not really gone the route that they did with Miles Morales' game about a certain group, a certain organization. Uh, I'll get into that later, again, part two. But guys, let me know what you think about this. Seriously, I'm bewildered from what I watched and from what I keep on seeing. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, but I don't want I don't want the gift of doing all this, man. Of seeing all this. I don't mind making a video. It just the writing is fucking terrible. That's just what gets me. And the characters don't even feel like how they are. There's literally only probably two moments in there, maybe three that I liked out of the entirety of what I watched from an 11-hour playthrough. That's it. And that's insane, man. That's crazy. But enough of that. I'll catch you guys later. I might make the other part into a live stream. I don't know. That could be a good one. Let me know if you want me to do a live stream. Then we could totally do that. But anyway, uh, Halloween's tomorrow. A lot of people are gonna be out, so maybe I might be able to pull something up. I don't know. Anyway, see ya.